All right, let's talk about something that can literally change your entire life: self-confidence. But we're not going to treat it like some kind of magic power you're either born with or you're not. No, we're going to look at it as an art form, a skill, a craft that you, me, anyone can learn and get really, really good at. So I want to kick things off with a big question for you. And I mean, really take a second to think about this. What could you actually achieve if you had that deep, unshakable belief in yourself? What kind of goals would you go after? Who would you talk to? Just hold on to that thought. So yeah, let's dive into this whole idea of confidence being an art. I want you to picture yourself as the artist, and your confidence, that's your masterpiece. It's not something you just stumble upon, it's something you create. One decision, one action, one brushstroke at a time. And look, this is probably the most important myth we have to bust, right off the bat. This whole idea that some people are just born confident, it's a total trap. It makes you feel powerless. But the truth, the really empowering truth, is that confidence is a structure, and you are the architect. You get to build it piece by piece. Okay, so if we're going to build this thing, we need a solid blueprint, right? We need to know what we're aiming for. So what is genuine self-confidence, really? It's so important to get this right because honestly, it gets confused with its annoying cousin all the time. And this comparison is just so critical. Real confidence, it's quiet, it's internal. It comes from trusting yourself, from knowing you have value without needing to put on a show. Arrogance, though, that's loud. It's rooted in insecurity, and it's always trying to prove something, usually by making other people feel small. Confidence connects, arrogance divides. So when you boil it all down, here's what we're talking about. True self-confidence is an inside job. It's that core belief in yourself that doesn't get rattled every time someone criticizes you or when things don't go your way. It's knowing you're capable and worthy. Full stop. That's the goal. Now, before we can start building, we've got to clear the construction site. And for almost all of us, the biggest piece of junk we have to haul away is that nagging negative voice in our heads. Let's give it a name, shall we? Let's call it the inner critic. Heh, sound familiar? That's the voice. It's that little monologue that whispers, or sometimes just screams, all of our deepest fears. It's the part of us that says, don't even try. Play it safe. You're just going to mess it up anyway. Everyone has one, but it does not have to run the show. So, what about you? What are the go-to lines your inner critic uses on you? You know, its greatest hits? Just being able to identify the specific story it tells is a huge first step in taking away its power. So here's the secret. You don't fight it. Fighting it is like wrestling with a shadow. You just get tired. Instead, you just notice it. You can even give it a goofy name, like Nervous Nelly, to make it seem less intimidating. So when Nelly pipes up with, "You're gonna fail," you can say, "Thanks for the concern, Nelly, but where's the actual evidence for that? Remember that time I totally rocked that presentation?" See? You shift from being its prisoner to just being an observer. Okay, the site is cleared. We've dealt with the critic. Now it's time to put on the hard hat and start building. We've been playing defense. Now we're going on offense to proactively, deliberately build our confidence. This little three-step process is your foundation. First, master something small. Seriously, it could be anything. Making the perfect omelet, learning a simple card trick, anything. Competence is the bedrock of confidence. Second, self-compassion. When you mess up, and you will, talk to yourself like you talk to a good friend, not an enemy. And third, act in a way that matches your core values. When what you do lines up with who you are, you create this incredibly powerful, authentic confidence. If you only remember one single thing from our time together, please let it be this. Confidence doesn't come before you take action. It comes after. It's the result of taking action. You don't have to feel confident to start. You just have to start. And I promise you, the confidence will catch up. It's a game-changing loop. So what's the big picture here? What happens when we actually do this stuff? When we manage that inner critic and we consistently take these small, brave steps? Well, we start living a truly empowered life. So let's pack your toolkit for the road ahead. Number 1, remember that confidence is a muscle. It's a daily practice, not some finish line you cross. Number 2, that inner critic's voice, it's the voice of fear, not the voice of truth. Learn the difference. And finally, never ever underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. That's how you build a fortress of belief that no one can tear down. And that brings us full circle, right back to you, the artist. Every time you try something that scares you just a little bit, every time you're kind to yourself when you stumble, you're adding another layer of color, another bit of detail to your own unique masterpiece. The canvas is there. The tools are in your hands. And the process? It's already started just by you being here and thinking about this. So the only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to create?